one of the things that we used to do is, have small, intimate gatherings with our customers. And the reason why we would do that is, let's say, a lot of times, you think of private jets, you think of these big, we're doing Super Bowl parties, we're doing, big events, and those are fine. But what you may not know is we also would do a lot of small, intimate events, right? And that gave us the ability to meet our customer, in a better, more intimate way. But equally as important is we would allow them to bring a guest, because in my world, rich people know rich people, right? So I want you to bring a guest, and that guest is probably somebody that's not necessarily our current customer. And so when we get them in that environment, the words that I would say, let's say we were having a dinner, and maybe it's just one round. It's not like a whole room full of people. We just have 8 people, 4 customers and their guests, and the guests are potential customers for us. But at that time, I'm not pitching about our service. I'm not even talking about our service. All I'm going to say is, always good to see our customers, blah, 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 blah. And those of you that are not flying with us, perhaps you're flying with somebody else, we just want you to have a wonderful dinner, to get to know us. And when your contracts are up for renewal, we'd love that, you now have met us, you know us, and if you'd like to talk about, what it is that you need, we'd be happy to talk about it. And that's it. Then it's just a nice dinner, and we're talking about, wine and food and whatnot. So I say that it doesn't have to be a dinner, but you want to give you want to get in an opportunity where you're not always selling, right? How do I get in an environment where I can just have a conversation with people? Because the goal for selling is not to constantly be pitching our product. The goal for selling is when they have a need, they automatically think of us because we've been in the picture somewhere along the line. And so that would be probably one of the ways that I would say that. The other way, when you're dealing with people that you don't know, is do a lot of research, right, to figure out how to get to know them. And one of the things when I ran companies is I would restructure the entire organization. And I know that you're very customer-centric, right, your whole company, and that's so important. And so I'll give you an example, and this may or may not really work for you all, but usually when you think of customer service type of call centers, let's just say, a lot of times, everybody's calling into that call center. Well, if we're a customer-centric organization, then I need my call center people to also be customer-centric. But and the way that I set them up to win is for them to actually only have to know a certain number of customers. For me, whenever I set up companies, I always make sure that the call centers, they know no more than 10 or 20 people at that call center, right? The customer service person only has to handle 10 people, 20 tops. But what I then want from that customer service person, and they hear it directly from me, is you're to know every single thing about that customer. I want to know their dog's name, their anniversary, like you're to know everything because you only have to know 20 people. Now, the flip side of that is I also would give them a budget to go and travel because the best way you get to know people is go into their domain. And now all of a sudden, you've got a customer service person. People never give customer service people budgets to go travel. But I would always give them a budget to go travel, to go to, let's say it's you, Chris, go to Chris's house, go to Chris's job, meet Chris's family, meet Chris's kids. You need to know everything about Chris. Because when Chris, now we have a problem with this flight, Chris is going to talk to his customer service person who is now his friend. He's not going to be as quick to want a free this or a free that or to pull the contract because he knows that, well, Stephanie tried. She's my girl. She looks out for me. So it's a shifting, when you want to be customer-centric, it means everybody's got to be customer-centric. And so where do I allocate my budget correctly to make sure that it's lining up to what it is that I'm expecting?